Okay, my dear Greg Saunders.
Gregory.
Eagle looking great. Your go.
And we're rolling, Gregory.
Greg Saunders.
Wow. Hey, great.
Show us the skills that have made you a media darling.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, 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 welcome to the Second Stateline Show.
Heads up, friends. Heads up. It is Thanksgiving week. You know what that means. We all got to set our scales back 10 pounds. I'm Greg. He's Tom. It is Saturday, the 18th day of November, the year 2023, the latest it has ever been
in the history of mankind. I don't have to worry about setting my scale back. Every time I step on it, it just says F-A-T.
Oh, you sad man. You sad.
I know. Or it just yells, ouch.
It's just
one of the two.
Please, why? Don't do that. I'm copying and pasting things as we go here. I was trying something new today because I want to make sure we have a posted question right here on the chat right away. And I wanted to see if it worked, but apparently it doesn't. If I do it before we launch, it doesn't put the chat up there automatically once we do launch. That was a test. I was testing Restream today. I wouldn't say Restream failed. I just didn't really know if it would work or not. We got a big number of the week this week, and I want you to answer.
Uh-oh, here we go. Here we go.
And for me, so let's put some question marks up there, and boom, it's big number of the week time. Let's try this. Yes. There we go. It's big number of the week time. And this week's big number of the week, by the way, our race to 10 currently has Tom trailing Joann by 1 point. It's 3-2.
2-3. Or
Joann
3-2.
Our last race to 10. Big number of the week this week is 843,000. 843,000. The answer is delete or droid. Okay. Delete or droid. Put your guess in the chat. I
did. I texted you. I saw something the other day, real quick. I don't know what I was watching, but the whatever the game was, I believe it was a college game. It was college football game. They had about a 10-minute delay because a droid had flown in, and they had to get the droid out of there and all that. And you know, they're doing that weird thing where they're not going to show the droid. They're going to show faces and the crowd, and they're going to show the scoreboard. And
it's
they're going
like to show when some idiot runs out onto the field. They don't show the idiot on the field anymore because
they don't want to give them any kind of TV time or whatever. Yeah. Okay, fine. I'll just find it on YouTube in a day. So come on.
I agree with it though.
Because they're well, I don't like it because it's almost telling us how we have to think and what we should and shouldn't see. And the
problem is, though, Tom, you got to admit, if they show the streaking guy and even blur him out when he's running out on the baseball field, it just encourages other people to do that because, I'm going to be on live TV.
Or the ratings go up. Come on now. We're in the ratings business, right?
Now you're thinking like a TV executive and not like a baseball.
Yeah. All right. No, you're right. They're probably discretion is the better part of valor. It is. Yeah. It is probably better not to do it, but it's so annoying when they keep, they're showing a hot dog vendor over here, and then they're showing, whatever. They show the squirrel when he runs out onto the field.
The squirrel isn't asking for attention. The squirrel's just scared. I know. No, it is very annoying when that happens. But at least you got the play-by-play guys in the booth saying, "Yeah, there's a drone flying overhead."
My favorite part of it is when some moron runs out there and a linebacker, boom, just absolutely nails him.
Yes,
that is my absolute favorite part of the whole thing.
Some event staff guy did that a couple weeks ago. I think it might have been a college game. I forget where it was, but they had video of him just leveling this idiot who was looking backwards because they were being chased and didn't see the guy coming in front of him.
Did the ref throw a flag? It was an unnecessary reference hit. 15 yards.
Well, I've got some shout outs this week, but we're going to save those for after our guest. I like the trend that we started recently of having our guest on up front so that they're not sitting around waiting for us for 20 minutes, because sometimes we get off on tangents.
Just like cattle. Move them in, move them out. No, we're kidding.
We are guilty of chasing all kinds of bunny trails. So Andrew Mahan is a part of been a part of something down in Byron for a while now, doing things at the Byron Civic Theater, which in case you didn't know, has a beautiful place to perform. And this year they're performing the Nutcracker, the classic, all the Tchaikovsky and their music that goes along. Andrew can correct me on all of this, because I like it and I kind of know it, but I don't really know it. So, I'm going to need a little bit of help. Andrew, good morning to you. Thanks for being on the show.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
And you're a Rockfordian.
I am.
You're not a Byronian.
Byronian.
Yeah, I don't know. What is that?
Resident of Byron called a Byronite.
Oh, I like Byronite. That's a good one.
That's a good one. But yeah, so tell us a little bit about you and your company and what's going on in Byron here for the season.
Well, I have been performing in Rockford. I performed in Byron. I perform in Woodstock and everywhere else. Myself as a dancer and a singer and a performer. I've been teaching dance choreographing in the area for since I was 19, so it's been a little while. I've been involved with BCT now for I think 8 years, almost 8 years. Started as a performer and then became really good friends with the staff and started choreographing shows for them. I directed a few shows for them, and then they approached me last year with I called it a pretty gutsy idea. They wanted to tackle a ballet. They wanted to tackle the Nutcracker. And I was like, okay, like we can do this. I have an extensive ballet background, grew up dancing, performed many times. And I said, all right, here's what we need to do. And these are things we need in place. And we moved forward. And next thing I know, it's spring of this last year and we're already moving forward with auditions and getting everything together, and it's been a whirlwind since then.
The Nutcracker is quite the undertaking, isn't it? Because
you
have quite a few dancers.
You do. You have to have a large cast, and even if you have a smaller cast, which we have about 37 dancers in our cast, you have to really sit down, think, pre-plan, and figure out how to double and triple cast those dancers in all those places so that you fill all the spots. But our cast is doing a phenomenal job. For a company that's never tackled a ballet, how we did it though also helped. I said, if we're going to do this, I want to do something different with it. So I said, let's do a whole area wide open call. Let's contact all dance studios, dance companies, and say, hey, let's build a dance community with this. Yeah. And let's see what happens. And we have dancers from, I think 9 different studios are represented in our cast, which is so cool because I've never been involved in anything like that. And none of the cast members have either. They're like, oh my gosh, there are people from, all these different studios, and it's not a weird environment. It's not a competitive environment. No one's like, well, I'm from this studio, we're better, blah, blah, blah. Everyone came in at a level playing field, and it's really cool to see the friendships building and the camaraderie happening during rehearsals, the laughter, ridiculous laughter. It's good.
I got a feeling, and maybe Tom can give me some confirmation on this. I got a feeling that the average person on the street in the Northern Illinois area has no clue just how many dance studios there are in Northern Illinois.
Yes.
And you've got 9 of them working on this project alone. And there's probably 16, 20s. I mean, there's a lot of small ones here and there, but of the fairly major busy studios, there's quite a few.
There are quite a few. And we're hoping with each successful year that we'll start adding more studios, because we get it, when you're doing something and Byron knew this too, you think Byron or you think BCT, people know about BCT, in the theater that they do. And when we've mentioned, we're doing Nutcracker, the ballet. People are like,
You can't do that. There ain't enough people to do that around here. Well, guess what?
but guess what? We are, and it's happening. And we're hoping that, well, I know it's not even a hope. I know that when audiences see what we've done and the caliber of performers, choreography, and costumes, the audience is going to be like, whoa, whoa. And then we'll get more dancers next time and more dancers next time. And yeah.
What is and then you might not know this exactly, but what is the estimate age range of your performers in Nutcracker this year?
Our youngest is
11?
8, actually.
8. Whoa, okay.
Have
I
some-
would have guessed like 11 to about 50 or somewhere in that range, but you're saying 8 to what?
Our youngest is 8, and our oldest is, I believe she's 62.
Wow.
Nice. That's, I mean, that is right there. That I wanted to bring that up because that is the essence of community theater and community dance and, just the arts in general. Obviously, when it comes to some forms of performing arts, it may be a little easier than others to perform them at advanced ages.
Right.
How's that for politically correct?
I love that. That was good.
But then there's things like this where, gosh, I was just connecting with someone this week talking about how his mom is still 80, but still playing softball with the guys. I mean,
That's amazing.
Someone who's 80 years old and living in Arizona most of the year and doing all the things that, a retired 60-year-old guy would want to do. She's doing them. And it's like, this woman is awesome. We're not all blessed with that kind of physical stamina or strength, but she is, and good for her. So I want to bring up the screen here too. So Byron Civic Theater and all these other organizations that have partnered to make this happen. Obviously, people that want to go to this need to get tickets and such like that. So what is the cost and all that sort of thing? I'm going to put this in the chat.
So tickets are $15 per person. It is general admission, so buy a ticket, show up early, get the seat that you want. It's a gorgeous theater, so there really truly is no bad seat. But yeah, if you want those closer seats to really see all the detail, I would get there a little early.
The middle school theater in Byron, it's like still brand new. It looks brand.
Yeah, they keep it up so well. But it's stunning, and we're constantly working on it still, constantly buying brand new lights and adding new fun things to it. We recently, because like I said, Byron Civic Theater is partners with Byron Park District now. We recently purchased a Broadway professional grade projection system. So now for a lot of our backdrops and our sets, we use projections and 3D projections and moving projections. We're using a lot of those for Nutcracker. It's going to add just an extra little layer of magic to the show. I'm really excited.
Well, the performance is coming up in December, so there's still plenty of time to put this on your calendar and pick a date that works for you.
Plenty of time. And we're doing it leading right up to the day before Christmas Eve. So while all family is in town and you're getting ready for the holidays and getting in the mood for Christmas, it's a great come to see Nutcracker, go home, open presents.
Saturday, December 23rd, 2 p.m. matinee. Otherwise, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 20th, 21st, and 22nd at 7. And by that time in December, I'm definitely okay if there's some snow on the ground, just a little bit.
Yeah.
Bite your tongue.
By then it's fine, but then day after Christmas, melt.
There you go.
Give me my.
No, I see. I don't. Unlike most people, I love winter. I don't mind the cold. I wear shorts 90% of the time. I don't mind the cold. It's that really frigid cold when you got ice in the ground and everything else, and that crackly ice that you break your ankles on and your tires and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
No, I want no part of that. I like the fresh new fallen snow where the trees are kind of leaning a little bit. That's beautiful. That's picturesque. That's Hallmark Channel. That's wonderful stuff. But no, I don't want the cold.
No, I'm good. I'll pass.
Yep.
I'll pass.
So Byron, I've got the link here, byronparks.org, and there's links to the Civic Theater and a link to get the tickets all right there. I know I was asking you before the show, is there any sponsors that we want to give some shout outs to today that we can say thank you to for helping to kind of put this on? Who do you want to
There are, it's kind of our collaborators for the show. It's all the groups that are involved in that. It's Byron Park District, Byron Dance Academy, Byron Civic Theater, Gateway Performing Arts, and Woodlawn Arts Academy. So all of us kind of joining together what has made this happen and created this amazing opportunity. And I do have a dancer here. You asked for a dancer.
Yeah. Where's Woodland Arts Academy too? That's a new one to me that I don't know.
Woodlawn is out past Sterling.
Okay. Out in that direction. Awesome. Who do you got with you this morning?
I have come in here, Miss Ryland. I'll scooch.
Ryland?
Yep, this is Ryland. Get a little closer. There you go. This is Ryland. She's one of our principal dancers. She's actually dancing the role of Dewdrop. And this is her costume, actually, right here. The real fancy one. Real fancy.
Nice. Well, tell us about yourself, Ryland. Where are you from? And tell us a little bit about you.
I'm from Rockton, and
Hononegah High?
Yep, she goes to Hononegah.
Yeah, I started dancing when I was like really little, and then I switched to gymnastics a couple years ago, and then I kept in practices with Andrew, and he's got me into this is my second play type thing.
Nice, good deal. So, does Hononegah have much in the form of dance at the high school, or are you pretty much doing everything out with other companies and such?
Hononegah has a dance team, and it performs at football and basketball games, and you can also do competitive.
Gotcha. Okay. So, well, have you ever done a Nutcracker performance before? Were you ever in part of a cast that did this show?
Nope, this is my first time ever being in a ballet.
Nice. And how are your toes? How are you handling the what is the word for it, Andrew, when you have to get your toes ready to dance like this?
And she is one of the dancers who's dancing on point. So yeah, so my dancers, I make sure, that's one thing I'm really passionate about, just because I'm a dance educator too, that when I do a ballet like this, we take time at rehearsal and after rehearsal to warm the feet up properly, cool the feet down. I have things that I give them to do at home to make sure that they're taking care of the feet, because traditionally when a ballet company, obviously, that puts on ballets, traditionally those dancers are in class 5 to 9 hours a day, so they're very conditioned, the feet are very conditioned, and that was one of the things with an undertaking like this. I was like, we have to do it right, because these dancers are not going to be, they're not taking class with me for 6 hours before rehearsal, so we got to make sure that we're making up for that and utilizing rehearsal time well, and making sure that we're pushing them to utilize their time at home well, so that they're just taking care of their bodies. So
it's not unlike guitar players who have to keep their calluses strong on their fingers to play well, and often if you're not doing it enough, eventually those calluses fade away and you got to start all over again. And so I highly admire those who are willing to discipline themselves to do such things with their bodies, whether it's toes or fingers or whatever it might be. So when you say dancing on point too, the point of a ballerina's, what do you call the footwear that they wear? Is there an actual like a wood block at the point of that, or is it just toes to the stage?
Is there a wood block in the shoe, Miss Ryland?
Is there something there between the toes and the stage, or is it just toes to the stage?
So it's a traditionally, like when point shoes were first invented, it was a legitimate wood block, which is why we call them blocks still. But what it is there's far less between your toe and the stage now in a point shoe. It's a really hard. They mix kind of a rosin in with the fabric that hardens the end of the point shoe.
Okay.
But I mean, you literally only have about this much of that between your toe and the stage. So, I mean, you're right on those toes.
That's a lot of work to get that to work and get those feet ready. So you got a month left, so you still got a month to keep this up too. Yep. Are you feeling pretty prepared there?
Oh, very. We actually we finished the show fully with all choreography and everything about a week ago. So now we're at the point where it's just running it like crazy, really polishing, really cleaning. It's where I become mean Andrew in rehearsals, and I'm like, nope, that foot was ugly. Nope, that was gross. Nope, do it again. Nope, fix your hand.
The polishing part
The
of it.
polishing part.
Well, especially when you've got 30 plus dancers on a stage at the same time, the logistics of all that is not simple. No. So you gotta know where you're going. And you're not just walking, you're on your tippy toes.
Yep.
Are you still in need of any volunteers to be a part of what you guys are doing in December?
We're fully staffed as far as the show, so we don't need any extra volunteers. However, I am still looking for a few more couples that want to be waltzers in the opening big party scene. We have about 8 couples right now that are extra cast members. So including them, we've got, about 45 cast members in all, but I would like, a handful more waltzers. So if anyone out there wants to waltz or loves to waltz, contact me.
I know you had an audition call here about a week or two ago for that, and I was curious if you had enough show up. So since we know you didn't, if someone wants to waltz in the background for a couple of scenes, right? It's not. Is it 1 or 2 scenes where they have
they'll be on stage for quite a while. That opening party scene is about a 40-minute long scene. So they waltz. All in all, they're waltzing for about 8 minutes of that.
Okay. All right. So this is no small thing. However, if you know how to waltz and you want to be a part of a show and you can't dance on your tippy toes like this great young lady here can.
It's a great way to get in without, damaging your feet.
That's right. So contact Andrew. Is it what's the easiest way to get in touch with you? Facebook or some other way?
Yeah, they can look me up on Facebook, author Andrew Mahan, or they can email me at andrew_gateway@yahoo.com.
Awesome. Do you have access to the Byron Civic Theater Facebook page, or do you need to do something separate?
Yeah, they can contact through that as well. Tammy Long runs all of BCT World, and she lets me know as soon as anyone's contacted. So,
okay, so I'll put that link in the chat here too, so it makes it easy to just go right to that page. Anything else to add? Did I miss anything, Tom? You disappeared on me. Probably get your sweet roll or something. Are you okay?
I did. My wonderful internet just said bye. I'm taking a nap. Anyway, the only thing, Andrew, we were kind of talking beforehand about how to get there. And if you don't know Byron, if you just drive through the beautiful downtown scenery, whatever, you're not going to know where it is. It's on Tower Road, and it's kind of off the beaten path. So maybe you could take a second to explain how to get there.
Yeah, so if you take 2 into Byron, you're going to come to an intersection where there's a Casey's on your left, and there's the Sam's root beer and ice cream shop on the right. You turn right on that road, go down just a little bit, and you're going to see the huge Byron Park District building on your left attached to the high school. Go 1 building further, and it's the middle school, and that theater is connected to the end of the middle school, and that is BCT's theater.
So right there on the south end of the middle school is the entrance to the theater, and I kid you not, it's one of the nicest theaters in Northern Illinois because it's one of the newest
beautiful
ones.
Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, very good. Anything else you and your guest dancer there want to throw in? Any shout outs or hellos before we let you go today?
Anyone
we didn't ask you?
Anyone you want to shout out to, Miss Ryland?
No, I don't think so.
He's like, I got up early for this.
I know, right? I was like, hey, do you want to come super early and be in an interview? And she was like, oh my God, okay.
Do I have to?
Do I have to? I was like, yes.
You didn't threaten her, did you? Like take away some of her dance
No,
routines?
I would never threaten my dancers. Never.
All right, good. We were just checking.
Well, it's in December. So again, you've got plenty of time to get tickets and plan for the Nutcracker in Byron. That December 20th through the 23rd, really, right? December 23rd is that last performance. But that's the only matinee show.
Correct.
So I know some folks, including folks like my folks, that don't like to drive in the dark. You do have one opportunity to drive in the light.
Yes.
And go Saturday, the 23rd of December. Otherwise, it's a 7 p.m. start that Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday before that weekend of December 20th through the 22nd. I really appreciate you guys getting up early and joining us on the show today. Wish you nothing but the best for your awesome show. Break legs all over the place, and you know what I mean. So thanks for coming on the show today.
Thank you so much for having us. We appreciate the extra PR for this again gutsy endeavor that we're taking on.
It's worth it. It's going to be worth it. You're gonna love it. All right, thank you guys. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye now. Byron's going to be the place to be right before Christmas. How about that?
Yep.
Have you ever tried to dance on the tippy tip of your toes, Tom?
No. I can't dance on the flats of my feet. Actually, I'm a pretty good dancer.
I've never tried on a pair of ballet slippers, so I don't know how that feels with the device at the end of the toes and stuff like that. And different times I've tried to dance on the tips of my toes, which is, it takes I wasn't kidding. It's like playing a guitar in that you have to train, you have to build up those calluses, and it's not for the faint of heart.
I have dogs, so I walk on my tippy toes in the backyard sometimes. Yeah.
Yes, you do.
So
hey,
I think you and Christy ought to do the waltz thing. You guys should sign up for that.
Oh, so trust me, we considered it for a hot minute, and I don't think we're going to be able to make that happen.
Well,
Otherwise,
because of the time commitment and having to be there 3 nights in a row, and then the matinee and all that. So yeah. So there's correct me if I'm wrong, only 5 showings. One on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday,
Saturday,
and then
basically 4 shows.
But isn't there's a matinee on the one day, but there's nothing after that?
No, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. 20, 21, and 22, and then a Saturday, the December 23rd matinee. So just 4 opportunities.
4 shows. I thought there was another one at night on Saturday, the night of.
And that one, no.
Okay, all right. So 4 opportunities.
I'm going to double check because you brought it up, but December 23rd, 2 p.m. That's the last show. That matinee.
Gotcha.
I got a feeling, Tom, dancing on your tippy toes for an hour and a half is probably a 1 show day thing.
Yeah.
Once you've done that 1 show, you're like, all right, I'm done for the day. I can't anymore.
That's just, no, I agree. I agree with that.
I think Joann might be ready to jump in for PAWS. She looks ready to me. Are you feeling ready over there, Joann?
I'm ready. I'm blacked off by my own thing, but
Well, we had a nice.
I'm here.
Nice chat.
You have to let me do a show because I have 5 of the cutest kittens to show you.
Oh, good. Well, we got plenty of time for that today. I do want to do my shout out.
My hair is black today.
My shout outs this week, starting with business stuff. Team Sold on Tony, Keller Williams, Realty Signature. Want to give a shout out to some great folks who I did something this week that I knew was possible, but I had never done it before. Contract to closing in 5 days.
Wow.
Now, I did hear of one recently that took like 4 days. So I don't know. I know I didn't break any records as far as this happening in Rockford or anything like that. But for me personally and our team, I don't think anyone else has done this in 5 days, where a couple is moving to Rockford from Peoria. They had a house that they had paid in full in Peoria, and they sold it, and it was scheduled to close on Thursday of this week. Okay. So they came here on last weekend, to find a place in Rockford to buy. The good news is they have cash, because they're going to have cash from the sale of their house on Thursday in Peoria, and they're going to use that cash to buy their next house here in Rockford. Here's the thing. As I keep emphasizing over and over again on this show and on my other videos, inventory is so low. There's just not much to choose from. So when they got up here, we only had 2 houses to look at. There were 2 houses that fit their criteria. And thankfully, both of them were in good enough condition and fit their needs. They could have offered on either one. The one that they bought, the one that they offered on, thankfully, we only had to negotiate for a couple of hours. It didn't take too long to come together with both parties and get a deal. We actually did an inspection on Tuesday morning, which I attended for them because they were down in Peoria, and everything. We had a couple of little repair negotiations to make. I'm like, is this really going to close? Yeah. So we got that negotiated. All good. We closed it yesterday, gave them their keys. They were moving in last night. And welcome to Rockford, Robert and Priscilla. I'm sure glad we were able to get it done for you so darn quickly. 5 days from contract.
Why is inventory so low? Are people just not moving, or is there a reason for it?
There's 2 major reasons why inventory is very low right now. The one is what we've been talking about now for a number of years. Builders haven't been building enough to keep up with the growing population and the growing demand. When the market crashed in 2008, and that caused about a 5-year gap of just carnage in the real estate industry.
Mm-hmm.
Builders hardly were building anything at all. There just wasn't any demand for homes to be built. So once that started to recover about 5 or 6 years ago, things started to pick up again and get back to normal. But now we were already millions of homes short.
Okay. So we're kind of doing a catch-up thing.
Exactly. Yeah. So most estimates I have seen, our country is around 4 million single-family homes short of what we need to match demand. And if you're only building maybe 100,000 homes a month, or even, there's a long way to go to catch up to that 4 million. So there's that. Now, the other major issue that we're having right now is because of what happened during the pandemic situation and all that money that was injected into the system to keep things floating, and interest rates were unmatchable. I mean, the interest rates went lower than they'd ever gone before.
Didn't they go down to like 2%?
There were some people that legitimately got 2% mortgages and refinanced their homes at 2%.
At 2%, that's almost like free to me.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It is. So now you have a whole lot of, I think the number is around 40 to 45% of all homeowners have mortgages right now that are under 4%, many of them under 3% interest rate.
Which means they're not refinancing no matter what.
Well, they're not
lose both of your jobs. We're not refinancing. Let's open up a hot dog stand.
And it also causes them to think twice about moving, because why would they want to get a loan 7.5%, have one at 2.5%?
Well, and if people don't have a large mortgage, kind of like buying a new car. If your car is paid off, why would you buy a new car and take on a new expense? Yeah. And I'm sure, like everyone else in America, money is tight. So they don't want to take on a new expense.
We've got inflation.
Congratulations on your 5-day deal.
It was, it was pretty remarkable. And then congratulations to Alex up in Beloit. He also had cash to buy. So we probably could close in 5 days if we really, really wanted to, but we don't have to. So we're not going to push it that hard. We're going to close that after Thanksgiving. But yeah, congratulations to them. And then also for all of our team sold on
Someone
Tony.
wrote something. Linda, Greg helped us find our perfect home.
Oh, yes, Linda. And I'll see Linda on
And
Tuesday. I'm
about
sure she's going to come by
3%. Wow.
and get a pie. We do a client appreciation pie giveaway every year before Thanksgiving. So that coming up this Tuesday, our past clients have all been invited to come by.
I didn't
and
get
pick
an
up a
invitation this year.
You should have got the invitation. So if you're available Tuesday, you can come get one.
No, I think
We'll be there.
I'm babysitting, so I'll be out of town. But no, I didn't get my
Okay.
invitation for a pie.
I wonder,
No longer
we've got to
loved.
get postcards figured out because that's one of those postcard things. So anyway, that'll be fun and cool to do. Want to give a shout out this week also to the Golden Apple Foundation. My wife, Christy, teacher at Harlem High School and in the past at Christian Life, was nominated for a Golden Apple Award this year. So she got to attend the big banquet this week. And
A worker here who knows Christy and works with Christy, Kelly. What's your last name, Kelly? What? Bask? Kelly Bask, and she saw Christy at the so Kelly was nominated too. Kelly, come here once.
congratulations, Kelly. Thank you, Kelly.
Kelly, hi. She worked with Christy. You
Nice.
on the radio.
Sort of.
Congratulations, Kelly.
No
Yeah, so
stuff in the ballot box now. Wink, wink.
What is it? What did Tom say?
Greg's gonna stuff. He's gonna stuff the ballot box probably. I'm kidding. He doesn't have a vote.
Kelly
all the
at Harlem High School or middle school? Harlem Middle School had the highest number of nominees for the Golden Apple in the district.
Wow.
So that's pretty
Nice.
exciting. There's some wonderful teachers at Harlem Middle School, or appreciated teachers, because that's
Yes.
by nomination by parents.
And Joann would know, being a teacher for all those years,
Yes.
how good it feels to have a parent
I mean, I
or
think
even
the
a student or a past
nomination
student.
is more exciting than the people who go on, because it's outside people who judge you in the end, but it's the people you worked for that are nominating you and
Yeah.
saying, you are appreciated. And I mean, to me, that's what is the most important.
The current students and past students that nominated Christy, the letters that they wrote about her, just it's so wonderful.
Way,
Beautiful.
probably, yeah.
That appreciation really goes a long way to encouraging those teachers. So even if you didn't nominate your child's teacher for a Golden Apple Foundation Award and you want to give them some kudos, write them a little thank you letter. Write them a thank you note. They will cherish that so much. It's
One, I know this. Now you brought on Golden Apple. One of my past students, as a Christmas, at the end of the year present, gave me a Golden Apple. And I mean, it just said you are appreciated. And then with the child, and that still sits on a shelf at my home because it just touched my heart so much.
Yes, absolutely. So that's coming up. Those awards and stuff are coming up, but want to give another shout out this week to our GTTN group. It's growing together through networking. We meet the first and third Wednesday mornings at 7 a.m. at the Machine Shed. And we do still have some openings in this group. It's an exclusive group, meaning that we don't have two realtors in the group. There's only one. It's me. If you're a realtor, you can't join. That's it. We have, different areas of professions in the area in this group, and we still have a need for some. So if you're looking for a networking group to join and help grow your business, consider GTTN. And we would like to plug you into that the first and third Wednesday.
What does GTTN stand for again?
Growing together through networking.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yeah. And one of the buddies that I've met and made through that group, Joe Bartz, owns DuraClean out in Belvedere. And we had a chance. We do these things called one-on-ones, where after the group, we try to get together every couple of weeks with one individual in our networking group to get to know them a little bit better and what their business does and such. DuraClean out in Belvedere. Awesome. They started out as a carpet cleaning business, but they do so much more. Anything you need cleaned in your house or your property, they probably can tackle for you. So I hung with him for a little bit, and then we went to the Funderburg Mansion in Belvedere. Have you ever been by the big Funderburg Mansion downtown in Belvedere?
Is it right on State? And I believe it is. It's on State as you're driving through Belvedere, just before you hit the downtown area.
It's
maybe just after.
Yeah, it's a block or two off the main drag there, so it's you don't see it if you're just driving down State Street.
Oh, okay.
It's as you're driving through town in Belvedere, if you're going south on State Street, the Funderburg Mansion is to the east, about a block and a half or 2 blocks.
Oh, okay.
And it's a fully restored house. It's basically a museum now. And that's where they were holding this relaunch of a networking group that they're launching in Belvedere, Belvedere Referral Network or Belvedere Referral Entrepreneurs. I forget what they're calling the group. It's a group they had done in the past and kind of faded off, and they're restarting it. There was a lot of people there. I was surprised at just how many. There's probably at least 50 or 60 people at this relaunch of this networking group that's restarting in Belvedere. That's also going to be a membership-based thing that they're charging money to join. But kudos to them for restarting that and seeing that they want to continue to help small and medium-sized business owners, local business owners, grow their businesses and continue to be strong in their community. And then finally for this week, as far as this is Thanksgiving week. Bless you, Tom.
I muted, but you knew what I did, right?
Oh yeah, and I was proud of you for muting. That was pretty
yeah.
slick. A week from today, you know what a week from today is? Stroll on State. Stroll on State is this a week from today, and Stroll on State, always huge, held annually the Saturday after Thanksgiving, also known as Small Business Saturday. It's the Rockford region's kickoff to the holiday season. It's a free community event downtown Rockford with a big parade, lots of fun. They always seem to add new balloons to the parade. And I heard this year one of the balloons in the Stroll on State parade will be very local specific, something specific to our region. I haven't heard what that might be. But I'm like, did they make an inflatable symbol? What did they do? Maybe it's a big Rockford Peach. That would be fun. I don't know. But Santa will be there. Santa will be there. And then the big lighting of
it's such an awesome event when you are there with all the people, and then the lighting of the Christmas tree is just awesome.
As of now, anyway, weather looks like it's going to be great.
The weather is good.
The weather looks great this whole next week, so we'll see how that holds out. Obviously, things change, but Stroll on State 1 week from today. As far as what's happening today, Atwood Center is doing their In the Outdoors Nature program today from 1 till 3. They also do that Birds of Prey thing. They usually feed the birds at 1 o'clock, so that's always gross and fun. In the Outdoors, presented by Rock River Disposal, free in-person activities held on select Saturdays year-round. This month is at Atwood Park, the Seth B. Atwood Park on New Milford School Road. Advanced registrations are highly recommended. They're not required, but they are highly recommended. So there's a link here on the page. I'm going to put this one in the chat really quick, because if you do want to do this, you're going to want to take a quick peek at the times and events and all that stuff that's going on. So there is that. Jody Beach and her trio are going to be at Spring Creek Church today, I should say, 3 to 5. Admission is free. Donations are welcome and suggested is a suggested donation of $10 for the walk-in guests. Jody Beach and her trio back to the Spring Creek Church stage. The concerts on the creek now are matinees in the fall from 3 until 5 p.m. Doors open at 2. And attendance is limited to 150 people, and it often does pack out. So if you are planning on going, you're going to want to get there early. and try to get there when about the doors open, right about 2:15. Otherwise, you may not get a seat. Light up the parks. Holiday parade and Christmas tree lighting is happening in Love's Park tomorrow. This is Sunday.
Grab a kitten.
Sunday at 5:30.
Why?
They have a fun schedule, guys. 5:30 is when they light up the tree because it's dark by 5:30 now.
Yeah, unfortunately.
A message from Mayor Jury. They do some fireworks after the tree is lit up, and then after the fireworks are done, that's when they do their parade. They have the big Light Up the Parks holiday parade. Clifford Avenue, down Elm Avenue. And yeah, that's always a big fun time in Love's Park. And then, as I mentioned, of course, Stroll on State 1 week from today, and all the activities that are going on. And the holidays around Rockford, the Festival of Lights will be up soon. The illuminated Anderson Japanese Gardens, all aglow at Nicholas Conservatory, which is definitely one of my favorites of the whole season. Seeing the Nicholas Conservatory all lit up every year is just amazing. And a lot of Christmas concerts and such. Go to GoRockford.com and see all the stuff that's going on around the Stateline area, and want to unofficially thank our unofficial sponsor of SMS Info, All True Eyes, the app that enables volunteers to track, verify, and maintain their own community service data for a lifetime. Check out All True Eyes in your app store. Tell a better story. Live a better life.
What's this kitten's name?
Joann's got kittens going on. She's got a...
I'll take them.
Morning, Michael. Thanks for tuning in on Facebook today.
Quiggy. Lenny and Quiggy.
Lenny and Quiggy.
Yeah. This is Quiggy.
Put Joann on the big screen here. There we go. So you said you got 5 to introduce us to today.
Yes, they're 5 in the same cage. It's unbelievable how cute they are. Too cute, as they would say. Oh, what one is that one? Oh, this is Lenny coming over. This is Lenny. Can you see him? You gotta get down a little lower.
Aww.
There he is. Lenny and Squiggy.
Oh, wow.
Now, you named them Lenny and Squiggy, but are they a bonded pair, or can they go separately?
These are litter mates. I don't think they said they were a bonded pair. So, Tom, you can adopt one or all.
I keep getting overridden. I want to adopt 20 of them if I can, but I keep getting, the boss won't let
Got to have limits, man. You got to know your limits.
Here's the fluffy one. Oh, here's another one.
Oh, wow. Is that Laverne or Shirley?
It's your sister.
Wow. She's a calico.
There's 2
She's
more
beautiful.
calicos in the litter.
Oh, my God.
Oh, I
Wow.
was reading
Absolutely beautiful.
and it was from Greg, so I thought it was, wow, someone wrote a long message.
No, just the link to the Hustle for those that want to get the Hustle newsletter. There's your link. Because some of the stuff on the Hustle this week, Formula One is racing in Vegas this weekend, and ticket prices are plunging. People don't want to go watch it in Vegas. They're busy doing other things, gambling and seeing other great shows. They don't care to see a race. So
And there's probably a football game
well, this
too.
is today.
Who knows?
This is actually today, the race. Did you hear about the accident that happened on, I think it was Thursday. It might have been Friday, but I think so.
I don't know.
Formula One racing cars, how low they sit to the ground. They sit really, really low to the ground. Well, because how fast they are and how low they are to the ground, they create considerable updraft. So much so that they can pull manhole covers right off the ground.
Wow.
And so when they race on these road tracks, they typically will weld the manhole covers down until the race is done and then unweld them and free them up. Well, apparently they missed one. And it just tore the crap out of one of these Ferraris. It just ripped this manhole cover up and just
It's
tore it
pulled
up.
up, right?
It was
Does
a
it pull
Ferrari or
up?
Lamborghini.
Yeah.
It was. Imagine a manhole cover hitting your car.
Wow.
Okay, and that's your
Yeah.
car, or the damage it would do. Now these are Formula One cars. They're not made like our cars. They're made to be light and fast and
Mhm.
and
And
I
aluminum.
mean, it probably could have killed somebody. I shouldn't be laughing. It probably could have
No.
killed somebody. So this car got just wrecked, and the Ferrari guy, the head of the team, was doing an interview. They were trying to ask him questions about other things, and he only wanted to talk about was how his poor, expensive car got damaged. Nothing else mattered to him.
Well, can you
I know.
blame him?
Hundreds of thousands of dollars
Oh,
invested in these
yeah.
cars. So anyway, the race is today.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's probably on one of the channels, or because it's
Does
Saturday.
it happen only when they go right over the manhole?
I think so. If you drive right over the manhole cover, the updraft is enough that it'll actually pull the manhole cover up off. Oh gosh, absolutely insane. So that race is supposed to be today, and they didn't sell as many tickets as they were hoping to sell. When they initially put tickets on sale for this Formula One race in Vegas, the tickets I saw were like $180 each. You want to sit in the grandstands in front of the Bellagio, because they built this great big grandstand thing in front of the Bellagio, so you can't even see the water behind from the street.
Oh, that's
Those
squeaky.
tickets were like $180 a piece. Okay.
Wow.
I mean, if you're a Formula One fan and you're a huge fan, you might want to be there.
And it's not outrageous considering it's Las Vegas, but still. But here's the other thing too. Even if there's a game on Sunday and it's in Las Vegas or whatever, people aren't going to want to go 2 days in a row to an event, and that could also have something to do with it.
It's probably pretty wild. And by the way, Facebook.
What is? Too.
Facebook profiles. When people die, your Facebook profile is still there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Facebook says, based on the site's growth rate and the age breakdown of their users over time, the date when the dead will outnumber the living will come sometime around the year 2065. It's right around the year 2065. More than half of all Facebook profiles will be people who have passed on.
All right, so I understand the dead guy can't take himself off Facebook, but why doesn't the family do that?
Quite a process to take someone off Facebook, but they can make it into a memorial. But I have a lot of friends. I don't want to say a lot of friends, but I have some friends that have passed that are still on Facebook, and I always say, you don't read Facebook in heaven. So, people will say happy birthday to them and things like that. And
I've seen some cool tributes here and there of family members, that have passed on and such. And they're like, they want to remember them. It is a cool way to remember them because there's photos and all that stuff on there. So that's nice. But, okay. Wow. It's already 8:53. I'm not going to get to this that I thought I was going to get to this because you want to probably show any more kittens that you want to show before we.
Well, let me. Oh, you want me not to do a tour?
Well, we can. We got time.
Because I was
kittens. You wanted to
I
show.
have those kittens I want to show you.
If you didn't get the letter from the desk of R.H. Tinker, maybe I'll read this next week. But I got a letter from the desk of R.H. Tinker. The guy who built Tinker's Swiss Cottage.
It's not going to work.
Robert Tinker.
Yes, save it for next week.
I'm sorry.
Great. That means I got to show up next week to hear it.
After your Thanksgiving turkey. Where is the other fluffy one? Here's the fluffy one. There's three calicos. One. Wait, I have trouble seeing. 1, 2. Look at this face. And 3. 3
I
is
want
down
the
here.
fluffy
Then
one.
the 2 boys, Lenny and Squiggy, who are chewing on my shoe. All right.
All a bunch of litter mates right there.
Yes, there, and it doesn't say anything pre-adoption. They're almost ready, so they won't, maybe by Thanksgiving. There is an adoption special, but I can't. Bonded pair. Okay, here is our, look at the cats. Dogs are not so many. Of course, we don't have as many dogs as cats. But the cats are 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
You still got almost 2 weeks of the month
21.
left.
Yep. And this is our past statistics.
By the way, I was way off on the ticket prices for this Formula One race. When they originally went on sale a year ago, they were $2,000 each.
Oh, wow. So Tom and I were going to go buy tickets for 150, and now we found out they're out of our price range.
The average
That's
get-in
right.
price are now $1,000 for grandstand seats. Who's paying $1,000 in grandstand
Here's a
seats?
bonded pair. So as we said, there's a special with bonded pair, or 2 for 1 through Thanksgiving. So you can be thankful for a new pet in your home. This kid's waiting right at the door for you to adopt. I don't think I have had tortoise shells cats, which are like calico. They're the same colors, but the calicos are a special cat. There's one-eye Mike here. Beautiful kitten. He had an eye infection. He had to have his eye removed. Did I say that wrong? He had an infection as a kitten and had to have his eye removed. He's very spunky. And then, of course, the Siamese. Everyone loves the Siamese. Guess the 5 are the biggest. There's a 2. I don't know what their story is. Bonded with Poppy. I don't remember these 2 white ones.
Wow. They are completely white, head to toe and to tail, everything.
And the one is a little more fluffy. No, Sophie and Poppy. And this is a bonded pair.
Okay.
They lost their home due to illness in their family. Oh my gosh, they're so pretty though.
Yeah, they are.
You need white hair on your couch? Adopt one. I've never owned a white cat. I always say that. You could. Kind of an angry one there.
Looks like Sheena. Hi, Sheena.
Norton, my brother and I were abandoned at PAWS.
No.
Front door. That was the one that someone. We talked about that last week or a different week.
Mm-hmm.
Someone dumped them. Yeah. He's
Not gonna
trying
open
to escape now.
Not gonna open.
Trying to dig a hole.
A tortoise, long-haired tortoise shell. Yeah. And, you know, the thing is, calicos are always female. Something about having those 3 colors makes, I don't know. I don't know the biology of it.
There's something about it. Yeah, I don't get it.
And there's our gang.
The litter of 5?
5, yeah. 2 boys and 3 girls. The boys are definitely more friendly.
Well, I'm glad you said it, not me.
The boys in this cage.
Oh, okay,
How about-
okay.
Okay. Wait. I've got to show you our Persians.
One last thing.
One last group. are
The
Persians.
Oh,
Are
wow.
scare-faced Persians. Yeah, these came from a hoarding situation. They were very ill, and I think, oh my gosh, look at that face. Is that a face you could love?
Oh.
The black one, the
Mhm.
black one, I think is already able to be adopted. I don't see the sign, but this is the mom, I think, and then two sisters. But they came from, like I said, a hoarding situation, maybe a bad breeder.
Yeah.
But you have to know how to take care of. They do have health issues.
Okay.
Breathing issues, kind of like pugs. But are they not adorable? So that's the tour for. I'm sorry, I got a little carried away, but
No, we love it. That's okay.
We hadn't done it
That's all right.
in a couple of weeks. So this was great. 815-299-PAWS if you have any questions for the PAWS Humane Society, or www.pawshs.org
and
is your website.
I wanted to mention too, I don't know if it's online. Is that, yeah, I must be backwards. Pet photos with Santa at Village Green North.
No, you're fine.
Pet photos
Saturday,
with
November
Santa.
2nd, 11 to 2.
And that is right.
The weekend after Thanksgiving.
2 weeks from
It
today,
is.
right?
Saturday,
What?
December 3rd, Village Green.
2 weeks from today.
Yes.
Digital photos, only $10. All proceeds go directly to PAWS.
So it's one of the, I think I have not missed one. And it's the most fun to see, a lot of people come back with their adopted dogs for pictures, and it's so great to see them. It's great to see everybody and see the dogs and all the people with their dogs. It's my favorite day of the year.
11 to 2, Saturday, December 3rd.
I always look forward to it. And Santa Claus is the real Santa.
Santa's
He
there.
is the real Santa. I mean, he is Santa.
So pet friendly. Knows what he's doing.
No, he
Awesome.
is Santa.
All right. Let's do this big number. Our current race to 10 has Joann in the lead by a score of 3 to 2.
3 to 2. Whoops.
Field goal to a safety.
There you go.
And our big number this week is 843,000. The answer is
Oh no.
delete or droid. Delete or droid.
Okay,
And
I'm trying
Tom
to
has sent me his
sync
guess.
with Tom and see if I can out-sync him.
Okay, so tell me, Joann, delete or droid? Give me your guess in 3, 2, 1, please go.
Droid.
Ooh, you went with droid. Tom went with droid.
Oh,
You
I was
also-
trying to unsync with him.
Well, let's see what you did. Google, speaking of dead people, Google will start deleting inactive Gmail accounts starting on December 1st. So Gmail accounts that have had zero activity for at least 2 years or more, they will be deleted. The main reason they're doing this is because those accounts are the ones most commonly hacked and used for scams. The most Google has, of course, become the most popular email service in all the world. Gmail has about 1.8 billion users. So if there's nearly 8 billion people on the planet, about a fourth, about 25% of the planet uses Gmail. Holy cow, that's amazing. That's unreal. So yes, you both get a point. Droid is the answer. Ding, 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 ding.
Now I have to change my numbers statistics.
You might remember a little movie back in the day called Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
Never saw it.
1977.
Yeah, I never saw it.
Okay, but
What was it about? No, I'm kidding.
if I said R2D2 and C3PO, would you tell me which one was the golden android that looks kind of human-like?
R2D2. No, C3PO. He's the taller one, C3PO.
Yeah,
There you go.
C3PO.
The head of the original C3PO from 1977's original Star Wars film just sold at auction for
They took
$843,000.
it off his body.
The prop was owned by
It was
Anthony
being
Daniels. Anthony Daniels was the actor behind the droid.
Oh, okay. Would you keep that for your grandchildren?
Well, he must have needed the money. There's not a
That's
lot of
always
droid
the money.
acting availabilities since back then, apparently. The estimates were that it would get a little over $1 million at auction. Well, it got $843,000, which I guess is not too bad.
Minus taxes, he probably came away with 150 grand. That's pretty good.
You're probably not far off.
Yeah.
That's sad. Next week on the show, we have the ADA Comply guy. What? The ADA
Americans with Disabilities Act.
You got it. And the ADA Comply guy is going to be joining us answering the question, is your website ADA compliant?
Interesting.
Your website.
I want to ask him why payphone. Well, the payphones we don't have anymore, but for a while there, payphones were way down here. You'd have to bend over like this to make a phone call.
Yeah.
It was like, come on.
I'm sure he'll have some good history for us, and we'll talk to Tony, the ADA Comply guy, next week.
I got some good questions for him.
Enjoy your Thanksgiving, everybody. Tom and I are going to hang out in a little bit and talk a little bit of sports. So, Joann, happy Thanksgiving.
I'm going to go see a movie with my daughter and granddaughter.
Yeah,
Awesome. What are you going to go see? Thanksgiving?
No, those furry things. What are they?
Furry things. What's the
Not
furry
Furbies?
I'm not keeping up on movies right now.
The pink girl. Troll. It's a new Troll movie.
New Trolls movie.
Yes.
All right.
Joann,
So we're going out for brunch and then going to see the movie.
just remember when the music kicks in, it's acceptable to dance in the aisles, just not in front of the people sitting behind you.
Sounds like fun. All right. We'll see you guys next week. Happy Thanksgiving.
Enjoy, Joann. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, let's see what's going on in the wonderful world of Green Bay Packer football.
Well, they're 3-6, so I don't know how wonderful it is, but I've been very, very encouraged by Jordan Love the last couple of weeks.
Me too. I honestly, if we were going to be honest with what we thought the season might be, realistically, before that Bears game got us all hyped up.
Yeah.
This is about where we thought we probably would be. So,
no, I did not. I admit I was completely wrong on it. I honestly thought we'd be 10-7, 11-5, maybe even challenge for the division. And this was even before the Bear game and after the Bear game. And then after the New Orleans comeback, I'm like, wow, this team is for real. And Pro Football, the rankings, Pro Football rankings had Green Bay as the 10th best team after their third game. They should have won the Atlanta game, but they did win the New Orleans game, and Jordan Love looked like an absolute stud. He hadn't thrown an interception. He had 8 touchdown passes. He was like the number
that fourth quarter was insane.
one rated quarterback for a couple of weeks. And it was insane. It was. And it showed what the Packers can do. All right, so the reason, what I said last week, I don't know if you remember this. I said midway through the season, 8 games in, 9 games in, that's when your team starts to take shape. And what example did I give you? Denver Broncos. Denver Broncos looked like they were the worst team in the world. They lost 70-20 to the Miami Dolphins. Now, a good team, an offensive juggernaut. And everybody thought Denver would be lucky to win 2 or 3 games. Well, Denver has turned it around, and I want to say they're 5-5 now,
which doesn't surprise me too much, but it was a surprise.
They should not They should not have won that game. Now, here's the difference why Denver has made it through, half the season and is now on the upswing. We can tell that. Sean Payton's a great coach. They hired right. And what Sean Payton did was he fixed Russell Wilson. The reason the Packers are in a different situation is because you don't have a Russell Wilson who's already got a proven track record, who has the skills, who has Super Bowls, who has wins. He can handle it a little better. Jordan Love is still learning. That's why it's going to take not just the 8 weeks, but maybe another 8 or 9 weeks. And then next year, look out. That's my take on it. I've been wrong before. I was wrong earlier this year. So don't put any money on that. But I think it makes sense when you think about it.
I am, again, I'm not overly surprised at where the Packers are at currently. And I do still think Jordan Love probably is the guy. So what does that mean?
Yeah.
That means I think he is their starting quarterback for the next 3 to who knows how many years. That could be. Will he have a run anywhere near what Favre and Rodgers did? Probably not. That's unrealistic. I think that's going to happen a third time in a row. But I would take it. I would take his numbers if he can get the Packers back to a Super Bowl. Absolutely. And
yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. And the nice thing about the Packers' last couple of coaching moves. Well, I shouldn't say that. Holmgren won a Super Bowl. Mike McCarthy won a Super Bowl. You had a couple of coaches in between there that didn't do so well. Mike Sherman, Ray Rhodes. And now you got Matt LaFleur. And it looks like, I think if everything plays out the way it should, if Jordan Love becomes a man, I think he's got every chance of winning a Super Bowl himself. He's a very good coach. I hope so.
I think the jury's just a little bit still out because he's got to overcome this obstacle of this season, and he's shown himself to have a little bit of a temper's not the right word.
Kind of a combative
attitude, and it's like, okay, I know you.
Yeah, and there was one thing I completely disagreed with him on. And I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was, why did you call that play or something like that? Well, what do you mean? You're not an offensive coordinator. You don't know football. What are you talking about? Next question, please. It was something like that. Come on, man, not your best move.
When you're playing, when you're an offensive coordinator, when you're calling offensive plays in the NFL, one of the things you can't do is become predictable. You've got to do things every once in a while that just don't make sense to keep the other guys, the other team, the other defense on their toes and wondering what the heck you're going to do next. So.
Well, here is my summation of the Packers right now. When you've got, this is the difference between Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love. If Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback this year, a healthy Aaron Rodgers, no Achilles. Green Bay, they're 3-6. Green Bay is 6-3 at the very least, because there are 3 games for sure that I can point to that Aaron Rodgers would have, just like clockwork, zip, kick a field goal, we win. There were 2 games with that, and then the other one, he had Christian Watson. Christian Watson beat his guy. He's on the 10-yard line. He's 5 yards past his guy. Aaron Rodgers drops that ball right in. Instead, Jordan Love undershot it. It was the the Las Vegas Raiders game. And Green Bay loses. Last second interception. Those are 3 games right there. And I'm thinking we would have been 7-2. Okay, so forget about all that. Aaron Rodgers moved on. I'm okay with that. Jordan Love has to, one, be a little more accurate. You can teach that. You can teach technique and how to lead him a little better. The other thing is his arm strength. You can work with that. Maybe you lift a little more weights. Maybe you do whatever. Okay, so there are a couple of different things you can do. But when it comes down to the coaching part of it, this isn't on Jordan Love. This is on the coaching staff. When you have 2.5 seconds to throw the ball, you simply get back there and get rid of it quickly. That's what Aaron Rodgers did and did well. Now, he had Jordy Nelson streaking across the middle. He had Devontae doing a quick little 8-yard button hook. Boom, first down. He had guys like Randall Cobb, who was a great receiver in his day, who he knew Aaron Rodgers. He knew the way he thought. you have to create those opportunities. You've got guys like Christian Watson who can just do a quick slant. You've got guys like Aaron Jones. We saw it in the first game of the season where he did bubble screens to Aaron Jones, and that's when Aaron Jones scored the touchdown.
Get him
Hurt
in
his
open
hamstring.
space. He's amazing.
Do bubble screen. Do counter trays. I mean, there are things you can do as a football coach, as a coordinator. You can call better plays. You can call plays that keep them out of harm's way, because Jordan Love is not savvy enough right now to know when to get rid of the ball. I've seen a lot. I've seen
pretty quick.
some good things from him, but you have to be able to.
Well, that was Aaron Rodgers' downfall these last few years was holding onto the ball too long. The games he did the worst at were the ones he kept the ball too long, looking to see if he could go for the big kill shot, and he tried it way too much. So,
yeah, I agree. It's
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, the Chargers game, it's at Lambeau. It's a home game, so that gives
it should be on
the
CBS.
Packers usually home field advantage equals a 3-point advantage, and then you figure everything else out. The Chargers are probably a touchdown or better as far as overall team goes, but how will they play in the cold in Lambeau, and how cold will it actually be? It's probably not going to be that cold. The weather looks like it's supposed to be pretty decent this weekend, so I wish I could say I think the Packers are going to win this game, but I'm not thinking that they will.
I think they're a little better. I think they're a little better today than they were 3 or 4 weeks ago when they lost to Denver, a game they shouldn't have lost. They lost to the Raiders, a game they shouldn't have lost. They're losing games they shouldn't lose. And the other one, Denver, the Raiders, and then there was one other one. The Vikings game and the Detroit game were the only two that they actually got outmatched in real. Oh, the Atlanta game. Those are the 3 games they should have won. And then who did they lose to last week?
So last week they were on the road to Pittsburgh. They could have won that game.
Oh, Pittsburgh. Again. You know what? You and I were texting back and forth. Let's just throw this out there. That pathetic call, second quarter, is a couple of minutes before the half or whatever. I was livid. I was texting you. I don't know if you could tell by my text.
And they didn't call it a lateral.
Well, not only that, if you look at it, I watched football all my life. I know football. I could ref a game. I could walk in there right now and ref an NFL game. I could. I wouldn't be very good at it because of the nuances and this and that, but I could do it because I know football well enough. And most of us could. Okay, so Kenny Pickett comes back like this. He throws the ball. You could see where Kenny Pickett is standing. His feet are about
one hash line behind the 25-yard line or whatever it was. Yeah.
Yes. Probably less than that, because they would have had Packers would have had the ball.
Receiver he threw it to was about 2.
So I think you were behind the 15 or the
marker. So it looked fairly.
Yes. And the receiver had to do this. He had to double back for it.
Should have been a fumble. Should have been a recovery by the Packers.
And then that water-carrying NFL lackey, Gene Steratore. I have zero use for any of those referees in the booth, because they're always going to side with the NFL. Well, they got a tough job, and it's kind of hard to see. And okay, fine, I'll give you that. But then you went to replay, and you still screwed it up. You go to replay. What is replay there for? If it doesn't work, get rid of it, or at least change it considerably. I'd love to sit down with Roger Goodell. I have some good ideas.
Way above our pay grade, unfortunately. So, what?
Yeah. Anyway, I'm disgusted watching the games, not because of the Packers, not because they lose. Big deal. You lose a game, I don't care. But when you lose like that, when you lose, and by the way, the Packers would have taken the lead. They would 8-yard line. They would have got it on the 8-yard line. As it is, the Packer guy, I can't remember who it was, picked it up and ran it into the end zone for a touchdown. But they'd blown the whistle. Fine, I get it. The whistle blows, play is dead. But it was a clear recovery by Green Bay. So it would have been Green Bay's ball on like the 8 or 9 yard line. They would have scored. They would have scored, at the very least, a field goal. And by the way, I'm missing Crosby. Mason Crosby.
There is another topic of discussion. Anders Carlson I think he's going to be good, but he's still finding himself in the NFL. So
Yeah, he's missing games he shouldn't.
He's
Kicks
got
he
more
shouldn't
than-
miss. Anyway, they got some issues. They got to shore up that line. It's time to say
Yes.
bye-bye to David Bakhtiari. As much as we love him, I'm sorry, you're done. We're moving on. And get some studs in there. There are guys out there that you can get. And Green Bay is notorious for having a good offensive line. Right now, we've got 2/5 of our
whole lot of great guys.
normal
They're all
offensive
hurt.
line. And even then, well, yeah,
Bunch
we
of great
do. Elton Jenkins is hurt. Bulaga retired. Bakhtiari's hurt. Corey Lindsley went to San Diego. I mean, my God, we've had all pros all up and down that line for the last 10 or 15 years, but keeping them healthy. So get rid of the guys you can't keep healthy.
Time for
Get
some
new guys in. They're out there. And like I said, Green Bay is notorious for having good offensive linemen, good quarterbacks, decent running backs, decent wide receivers. Now let's focus on the defense. You need to shore up your defensive line. It's a sieve. It's a sieve. So the defensive line and the offensive line, top priorities. Your first 4 picks.
So you got a
defense
score
and
prediction
offensive
for
line.
this week?
Yes, I do. I've got 26-21 Green Bay. No, I'm going to go 26-24
Okay.
Green Bay.
Give us that
26-24
last
Green Bay.
second. There were 6 time expiring field goal kick winners last weekend, the most ever in the NFL.
Really?
Previously, there was, I think the record was 3 or 4. Because Monday Night
Wow.
Football ended with a last second kick as well. There were
Yeah. And that's with a couple of teams on bye too. So there's fewer games. There was 14 games instead of 16 because they do 4 teams on bye. So that's pretty doggone
I think
good.
because the weather's going to be nice. I think there's going to be more scoring, and I think we might actually see one of the 2 teams hit 30. So I'm gonna pull a 30-20 game. And I don't think the Packers.
And
the Packers are going to be the winner on that. I think they're going to lose to the Chargers.
Oh,
I hope
come
I'm wrong.
on.
I hope I'm wrong. But anyway, all right.
Yeah, I hope you are too.
Well, have an awesome week, and maybe we'll be watching the Packer game together tomorrow. We'll see how that times up.
All right, you let me know because I'm willing to do whatever, But no, I think it may be on CBS though.
Hopefully.
I think it might be because if AFC team goes into an NFC ballpark, they do CBS, and then of course the Bears will be on Fox.
Right.
We know that because it's Bears in Detroit. So I'm pretty sure it'll be on CBS. So much as I want to hang out with you,
We'll see how it goes.
We'll
Again,
we'll
the
see.
next is in
All right,
Byron.
buddy. Have a great
And
Thanksgiving.
with the link to see to get tickets is in the chat. So if you didn't catch it earlier, the link to get tickets is in the chat. It's December. It's the week before Christmas, so there's still plenty of time to plan and go and do that. Have yourself an awesome week, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. Remember, you change the world when you help one person. Be a blessing to someone this week. We'll try to do the same. Meet you back here next week for another Saturday morning Stateline.